China's mysterious fireball intercept. Fireball mystery over China. Meteor, UFO, or military intercept. Shocking explosion in Shandong sky sparks debate. A dramatic fireball striking across the night sky over China's Shandong province has ignited fierce speculation online, with many questioning whether the mysterious object was a meteor, an unidentified flying object, or even part of Chinese missile intercept test. Now let's uncover the details of this story on the AI podcast.
Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Imagine looking up into the night sky expecting, the usual stars, but instead you see something completely breathtaking and baffling. That's pretty much what happened recently over China's Shandong province. A mysterious fireball just shrinking across the darkness seemed to explode and, well, it instantly ignited this wildfire of speculation across the globe. Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving deep into this thing people are calling the Shandong fireball. We'll explore all the different theories it sparked. Everything from meteors, which seems plausible, to UFOs and even whispers about secret missile tests. And crucially, we want to connect this puzzle to the much bigger picture. Planetary defense, high stakes stuff. Our mission here is to sift through what we know, pull out the important bits, and help you understand not just what happened, but why it actually matters in the grand scheme of things.
Right. And what's fascinating here is, well, it's not just the event itself. It's how quickly something mysterious like this grabs everyone's attention. There's this basic human need, isn't there, to find explanations, to make sense of the unknown, especially when the first reports are patchy or even contradict each other. This incident, it perfectly highlights that mix of, a natural event, raw human observation, and then bam, theories popping up everywhere. It shows how fascinated we are with space, but also how we sometimes rush to explain things away.
And what an event it was. So Friday, September 12th, right? Skies over Shandong province. An unforgettable show. People describe seeing this blazing object, just a brilliant streak tearing across the sky, but it wasn't silent. Eyewitnesses didn't just see it. They distinctly reported hearing two loud bangs resembling artillery shells. Right after the object seemed to, break apart or explode midair, imagine that the shock, the awe, maybe even fear, seeing it and feeling it.
Yeah, and with modern tech, video started spreading almost instantly. Lots of shaky phone footage popped up on X, formerly Twitter, showing this fiery streak from different angles. Yeah. But the thing that really kicked the speculation into high gear, some clips seem to show a second bright light. This light looked like it approached and then maybe intercepted the main fireball just before it blew up. That specific detail, this apparent hit, it changed the whole conversation online, pushed it way beyond just a meteor.
You could practically feel the buzz online, right? Excitement, confusion, and like you said, social media split pretty fast. You had the "it's just a meteor" camp, solidly natural explanation. But then, fueled by those videos, you had others absolutely convinced it was a missile-intercept test, some kind of advanced military thing. And, naturally, you got the UFO theories bubbling up, too. Couldn't miss those.
Oh, absolutely. A real storm of ideas. Like this self-proclaimed UFO researcher, Tom Thompson. He gave this really detailed breakdown. He was speculating, I'm quoting him here. Defense analysts say this gets a missile-intercept test. Quote, a point of light moved fast on a curved path. A second light approached from another vector. They crossed. A flash lit the sky, and two sharp booms followed. That's very specific, almost like a movie scene. Suggests something complex, deliberate.
And not just him. There was another user, UFO Mania, right? Posted a video asking, basically, what is this? This is something like, I was thinking it was a meteor, but then it hits whatever that thing is that comes from the left. Pretty interesting. Don't know what it is, though.
Exactly. That uncertainty, that visible impact, it just sent people spinning out possibilities.
So here's where it gets really interesting. How much does any of that hold up when you bring in the science?
That's the key question, isn't it? So Dr. Alfredo Carpenetti, an astrophysics expert at IFL Science, he looked at the footage. And he came at it with, proper scientific skepticism. He didn't just dismiss it outright. He said, the problem is that it partly looks like a meteor until it doesn't. That's why I'm skeptical.
Until it doesn't?
Yeah.
What does that mean exactly?
Well, things like the fiery streak, the initial path that fits a meteor entering the atmosphere. Standard stuff. But maybe other bits didn't quite fit, like a sudden weird flare-up in brightness, or maybe the way it broke apart didn't look quite right for a space rock. Those little anomalies, that's what raised a red flag for him. That visual ambiguity is fertile ground for speculation.
Okay.
And Carpenetti also pointed out a basic problem, the actual video quality. He mentioned the weird bouncy footage circulating. And that's not just a small thing. It really hinders proper analysis.
Like shaky camera compression.
Exactly. It can create artifacts, distortions, makes it super hard to know what you're really seeing. Was that second light real? Or just a lens flare? Was the explosion an impact?
Yeah.
Or just the meteor naturally breaking up? Poor video quality makes answering those questions definitively almost impossible. You can't build solid conclusions on shaky evidence.
Okay, so if the footage is iffy and the expert eye is skeptical, what about that really dramatic idea, the missile intercepting an asteroid or meteor? Sounds like Hollywood.
It definitely has that blockbuster feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where the science throws up some pretty big roadblocks.
Yep.
Dr. Carpenetti was quite direct about this. He laid out the speed issue. Our fastest hypersonic missiles, they top out around about 20,700 miles per hour.
Which is incredibly fast, Mach 27-ish.
Wow.
But even the slowest asteroid is clocking in at a minimum of 25,000 miles per hour.
Faster than our fastest missile.
Yeah, minimum. And they often go much, much faster, up to maybe 160,000 miles per hour. The speed difference is just huge.
So trying to hit one, it's like trying to hit a bullet with a slightly slower bullet. Yeah. With both moving in complex ways across vast distances. The physics just don't really work for that scenario right now. Carpenetti stated it plainly. There is no planetary defense system that uses missiles.
Okay. Reality check.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those cool movie scenes of scrambling jets to shoot down asteroids, that's still firmly in the realm of fiction for now. The theories are interesting, but they don't match current tech or science for this kind of threat.
That's a really important point. Because it shifts the focus, doesn't it? Away from what likely didn't happen over Shandong and towards what is actually happening in the real world of space defense, which is serious business. This whole fireball mystery, even with the debunked ideas, has kind of accidentally highlighted China's own space defense program, which is apparently quite ambitious.
Very ambitious, yeah.
And we're not just talking vague ambitions. China has actually announced plans, right, to launch a mission specifically designed to hit an asteroid with a spacecraft.
That's correct. They've been quite open about that goal.
Which sounds a lot like NASA's DART mission, Double Asteroid Redirection Test. I remember that back in 2022.
Exactly. DART was the proof of concept. NASA successfully slammed a spacecraft into the asteroid Dimorphos and changed its orbit slightly. It showed that this kinetic impactor idea, basically hitting an asteroid to nudge it, is feasible.
So China's planning something similar. Okay, this is where we really see the bigger picture, isn't it?
Absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it shows this growing global understanding that asteroid impacts are a genuine threat we need to prepare for. Wu Weiren, who's the chief designer of China's lunar program, confirmed it very clearly. He said, "Our aim is defending against asteroids."
Plain and simple.
Yep. It's not just about science or national pride. It's about planetary protection. China's likely looking at that kinetic impactor method, like DART, but maybe exploring other options too. The challenges are huge, tracking these things, hitting them accurately. It shows how advanced space engineering is becoming, and maybe hints at some level of global cooperation because this threat affects everyone.
And this isn't just some theoretical, maybe someday problem either. This defense stuff matters now because there are actual identified threats out there that make these programs seem pretty urgent.
Precisely right. Scientists aren't just theorizing. They're actively tracking potential dangers. There's one asteroid in particular they're keeping an eye on called 2024 YR4.
2024 YR4.
Okay. It's estimated to be somewhere between, say, 40 and 100 meters wide. Doesn't sound massive in space terms, but it's big enough to worry about. Well, the European Space Agency, ESA, they predict it could make a very close pass by Earth.
How close? And when?
Potentially dangerously close. The predicted date is December 22, 2032. So, not immediate, but not that far off in cosmic terms. This raises an important question. Are we taking these potential close calls seriously enough?
And if something that size actually hit?
If an asteroid like 2024 YR4 were to impact Earth, it packs enough force to destroy an entire city.
Wow, an entire city.
Yeah. Remember the Chelyabinsk meteor in Russia back in 2013? That was only about 20 meters across. And it still injured over 1,500 people, caused lots of damage from the shockwave.
Right, I remember that.
So scale that up to 40 or even 100 meters. You're talking energy comparable to a large nuclear weapon, flattening a whole metro area. So this isn't just science fiction. It's a potential real-world disaster that space agencies globally, NASA, ESA, and now China's program too, are actively working to prevent. detecting them, tracking them, developing ways to deflect them. It's vital work for a long-term safety.
Okay, so we have the science, the reality checks, the global defense context, but circling back to where we started, that Shandong fireball, it's still mostly a mystery, isn't it? Beijing hasn't said anything officially, no explanation.
No official silence so far.
So was it just a weird meteor, some kind of secret defense tech test they're not talking about? Or, that lingering question, something more mysterious that we just don't have a category for yet?
Exactly. That lack of closure means the debate just keeps going. You've got scientists wanting hard data, and you've got the UFO community looking for something extraordinary. And until there's official word, that intercepted fireball narrative will keep fueling theories on both sides.
It's kind of a perfect example of how even today, with all our tech, some things in the sky can still leave us completely stumped and just wondering.
It is. And while we might not have the final answer on the Shandong fireball itself, I think this deep dive has really highlighted the bigger landscape. We've seen that mix of natural events, human perception, the need for scientific rigor, and crucially, humanity's growing ambition and need for planetary defense. It shows our understanding of space isn't fixed, it's always evolving, and with that comes new challenges, new responsibilities.
Which leaves us with a pretty big thought for you, the listener, to chew on after this. As we get better, not just at watching space, but actually intervening, nudging asteroids, actively defending Earth, what new questions does that raise? It's not just about the science or the engineering, is it? There could be ethical questions too. How does this shift our view of our place in the universe? From just being here to being, active managers of our cosmic neighborhood.
A profound shift, potentially.
What responsibility comes with that power, not just for Earth, but for anything else we might affect out there? Lots to think about. Keep asking those questions, keep seeking understanding. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive.
Okay, one question for you. Do you think China's fireball was a natural meteor or a secret missile intercept test? Don't forget to comment it. Thanks.